I'm Dr. Cody with Polaris Chiropractic in Monticello, Minnesota. I opened the clinic back in 2019, and I've got a family pediatric focused practice. And with our office, we really are just trying to grow the practice, make a bigger impact. And so that's why we decided to kind of make the jump.
Let's go. What is your situation like before? Like in a couple sentences, can you share what was building a practice like?
Building our practice, my wife does not work in the practice with me at all. We've got 3 kiddos at home as well. She works full time in her own career. And so in doing that, it kind of left me with a more flexible schedule to take care of the kids. So oftentimes I found myself putting the office kind of on the back burner and taking more of the responsibility with the kids. And in doing that, really became complacent in the practice as far as growth goes. Really looking back at the numbers, since 2022, we really haven't grown at all. We've been kind of staying at that monthly average of around that $20,000 as far as collections goes. And although I keep saying we're going to change things, we're going to make a bigger impact, we're going to do it this year, we're going to make it different. We tried this marketing group, we tried that marketing group, we did a practice management group. We've done all the different things, so to speak. The only thing I didn't do was actually work on the practice in the practice, right? I guess that's kind of what led me to you guys.
No, thank you for sharing that. How, in this process, how did you feel about growth in general in the practice? Were you feeling good about it? Were you feeling hopeful? Were you giving up? Walk me through all the thoughts and feelings. Yeah, because I know it was a couple of years that you were trying to do that beforehand.
Yeah. I was always hopeful that we could make a bigger impact, right? I saw lots of my friends that were seeing massive volume, making huge impacts, bigger collections, bigger staffs. I think in chiropractic, we often find ourselves comparing ourselves to our friends from school and our colleagues in our town as well. Yeah. And I had to come to the realization is my town is not their town, my office is not their office, my family situation is not theirs, right? So we're all different. And we can sit here and compare all day long, but at the end of the day, that's not going to change my situation. And so I had to realize I actually have to do the work in the office to make things happen. And when I started actually buying into that and having some hard conversations with you guys, really understanding that we might have tried a few of these things over the years, but were we consistent with them? Probably not, right? Did we truly do the work day in, day out, and have those conversations to move the needle forward with patients? Not really. So I think that's where we're finding a successful change so far, just in the short time we've been with you guys. We had our best month ever, which is awesome. So averaging $20,000 collections basically the last three and a half years, and we just crushed that and hit 33,000 in the last month. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, let's go. Can you walk me through that transition? And then I want to dive into results afterwards. Can you walk me through transition from trying these things? Okay, let me just give it a shot. How'd you find us? What were your thoughts as you went through the process? That whole deal.
So in Minnesota, we have a group of chiropractors that have been in a couple different organizations over the years together. And so it's on a Facebook group. And I was talking to the guys, figuring out who was doing what for marketing, because I was I'm sick of not growing. I'm sick of not seeing change, right? But at the same time, I didn't want to do the work. And so one of the guys was like, hey, I just started using ChiroJump. It's been really awesome. It's been the best thing for my practice so far. And I knew that he and I had done a lot of similar things in the past. So I was like, well, let me talk to you more about it. So I talked to him, picked his brain, and then I still didn't buy in, right? He's telling me all these things how great it is, how successful he was. And I'm like, okay, well, that's great. Is it going to work for me? Right. And I think the biggest hurdle for me was honestly, I didn't want to waste money that I didn't have. Right? Because at that point in practice, I mean, you don't have money to spend on the marketing, but you also don't have money not to spend on the marketing. You need to put the money in the right spot. And so for us, it was a matter of, okay, well, can I come up with the funds to get started? Number one, that was a little bit of a hurdle for us to start with. Once we got the money set up and got things ready to go, we were able to rock and roll and really get going. But beyond that, my wife likes to play devil's advocate because she's not part of the practice, and she's more number driven than I am. And so she was behind the scenes saying, I'm not sure you should do this. It's a lot of money. And are you sure you're going to get the return on the investment because you've been burned on other companies in the past? So she's in the background trying to protect my best interest at the same time.
For sure.
And So kind of going back and forth, and it was a hard place for me to be as the practice owner, but realizing like I couldn't continue doing what I had been doing if I want to make changes as well. And so that's what led me to really just like, if I'm going to do this, I'm not going to just like lukewarm do this. I have to buy in and do all of the things.
Yeah.
And that's where it really shifted for me.
Yeah, no, that's big. That's big. And so that like led into you saying yes, and like walk me through that mindset shift as we started working together. Like, what was that?
Yeah. So first off, you guys are super genuine, and I appreciate that. And that's one thing that helped break down the barriers for me too, because going into this, like, you've got all these preconceived notions about what marketing is, right? And who marketing people are, and they're just in there for the quick buck and the exchange of the dollar, and then you guys are gone once we see a little success. And I could tell early on that like you guys aren't like that. You guys are really genuine with what you're doing and trying to do what's best for our practices, because long term it's going to be what's best for you guys too, right?
Sure.
So what I was saying is, I really just felt that you guys are super genuine in the fact that like you guys want what's best for us as a practice, and in doing that, it allowed me to really just be myself and helped me to be able to grow in ways that we weren't able to grow otherwise.
Yeah, no, let's go. What do you like? Walk me through now how you're feeling. Walk me through the results, where we're at now. And I would really love to dive in. So for some context, we started May 12th, 2025. It is now July 3rd, 2025. So it's been a little under 60 days. Some of the numbers, and you can confirm this, but you mentioned that we had 14 new patients in May, 8 of which converted. In June, we had 34 new patients, more than double, and then more than double the number of conversions too, with 20 conversions. Right, and that's what pushed us over the edge from the 20K collections in prior average of the last couple of years to 33 collected just in the month of June.
Yes.
All right, walk me through that. How you feeling? How you feeling about those numbers?
Yeah, no, it's been super awesome to not have to stress about that, right? Prior to that, you're always worried about, are you meeting the overhead? Are you bringing more in so you can continue to advertise and do all the things? And at the end of the day, it brought the fun part of practice back. It made it so we can actually enjoy the patient care and get to the things that we love to do, rather than stressing about just numbers. Because at the end of the day, I think we all got into the practice because we like to help people, right? I don't think we got into practice because we wanted to worry about the business. And I think that's what also is a detriment to our practices, because we're not in it for business always. And so from my perspective, that was a huge change for me, just being able to get back to actually focusing on what I love, which is patient care. And the business is taking care of itself as we take care of the patients that are coming in the door.
Yeah, how does that help with, I know that there were some anxieties and stressors about not being able, this not working out at the beginning, and you decided to jump the gun and say yes. But how has that shifted? How has that like anxiety and the stress of the everyday practice changed over the last couple months here as we've started? You've been putting in the work. Your perspective on things has significantly shifted. But
yeah.
Can you walk me through that?
I think the biggest thing for me is just not worrying about the expense of overhead and running the practice.
Yeah.
Knowing that like we have the potential to keep $30,000 as our base income for the rest of the year if we continue doing what we've been doing. That's a reality. That's something that could be achieved, right? It's going to take work. It's going to take consistency. Just because you hit 1 month doesn't mean you're guaranteed next month, right? And so I think that's the important thing, is like we have to maintain the consistency aspect of this, and creating those new routines in how we communicate with patients. And that's a reality. That's something that could be achieved, right?
Yeah.
This is going to take work. It's going to take consistency. Just because you hit 1 month doesn't mean you're guaranteed next month. And so I think that's the important thing, is like we have to maintain the consistency aspect of this, and creating those new routines in how we communicate with patients and making that an intentional thing. I think at the end of the day, it's really helped me with my mindset on getting back into what is important, rather than just like the, hey, how's your week going? What are you doing this weekend? Conversations. Like, those are great every once in a while, but if that's all you're talking about, that's not helping your practice.
For sure.
So it's forced me to be better on table talk. It's forced me to be more intentional with the time I have in the office. It's forced myself and my employee to be more intentional about scheduling and making sure that things are blocked out properly, so we're not overwhelming ourselves as the schedule grows. Everything has just had to be fine-tuned. we're now going through all of our systems and procedures in the office and making sure that everything is going to continue to run well-oiled as we grow, because if it's not working now, it's not going to work when we're busy.
Definitely. And these are the actions that are making you busier too. This is crazy because you just had a baby in the midst of all this and you're still able to keep up with everything. You're crushing it. What positive impact has your personal growth had on your family and the people around you? How has that changed your perspective, shifted your relationships even?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's helped me to be more relaxed, less stress, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, I think as far as the house goes, as far as like the household, obviously with 1 month of income, we haven't pulled a huge amount of money out of the business to pay myself more.
For sure.
But the potential's there in the future, right? You know, as the office grows, so does my potential revenue for the family.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a huge hope for the future, is that potential's there, right?
Yeah. What would you tell somebody watching this right now who's unsure, maybe in the same position you are? I've tried all these things, they haven't worked, or maybe it's like there's 1,000 companies out there. Why ChiroJump? What would you share with them?
I think ChiroJump sets you can set yourself apart from everyone else by the way you work with people. The relationship that you build, the genuine style of what you guys do, and the way that you and your brothers work so well together. It makes it so easy just to be successful if you just follow the steps, right? You have to do the work at the end of the day, but if you're willing to actually do the work and do the steps that are asked of you, the success is going to follow. It's impossible for it not to follow if you do the steps that are there.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the biggest thing. If you're on the fence, and if it's the financials, if it's the hesitancy because you've been burned on other companies, we've all been there. I was there, and I'm so happy that I made the jump into ChiroJump, because it's something that will hopefully forever change the trajectory of our practice.
Let's go. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for this year. Let's hit 30K again this month. It's going to be awesome. Thank you for taking the time. So if you're watching this and you're like, hey, I don't know what to do, just click a button, book a call. Worst that happens is like, hey, this isn't a great fit. Best that happens is we add an extra 10K in revenue in 60 days. It'd be pretty great. But yeah, go do that right now, and then I will talk to you soon.